Hi, I'm Poppy Dinsey from What I Wore Today, and I'm here at Wish Want Wear to show you how you can recreate some of the gorgeous looks from this year's Oscars without the A-lister budget. Now, one of the absolute favourite dresses of this year's Oscars was Jessica Chastain's custom-made Armani gown. It was a beautiful floor-length nude gown which had this overlaid hand-sewn crystal and sequin detailing to the top of it. This is not the Armani gown, but it is a beautiful Bajli Mishka dress, which is very similar. The great thing about nudes is it really flatters all skin tones and it's really, really classy. This particular dress has beautiful detailing to the bottom of it and is available to hire if you'd rather hire a dress rather than buy one. And luckily nude has been a really big trend on the high street as well, so it's quite easy to pick up high street gowns. And accessories wise, it's best to keep things quite simple with nude dresses. So something like a statement red lip and soft curls, which is exactly how Jessica wore it at the Oscars this year. Now, for most of us, we associate sparkles with red carpet glamour, but a sparkly dress doesn't need to look too kind of over-the-top bling hip-hop video. It can be very, very classy. Naomi looked absolutely stunning in a full-length sparkly gown, and this is another example of how beautiful a sequin dress can look, especially if it's toned down a bit in a colour like this. So kind of a gunmetal grey looks really, really lovely. This one's got kind of beautiful detailing that almost makes you look like a mermaid with the way it kind of fishtails out and pleats all the way down. It wasn't just actors and actresses at the Oscars this year. Roland's dress caused a bit of a storm. The response wasn't always positive to her monochrome look, but there is no denying that monochrome is absolutely huge for Spring/Summer 13. We've seen it at Balenciaga, we've seen it at Marc Jacobs, we've seen it everywhere, and the good news is it's all over the high street. You can't really even go into Topshop without buying something that's black and white. And a dress like this one is beautiful and appropriate for a red carpet event, should you have any coming up in your diary, but also it's really trendy, and if you'd rather look fashion forward than wearing something a bit more classical that's covered in sequins and rhinestones, then this is a really great way to keep a nod to all things high fashion while still looking evening wear appropriate. There wasn't an abundance of colour on the red carpet at this year's Oscars, but if anyone stole the show, it was Reese Witherspoon in a beautiful cobalt gown by Louis Vuitton, which, believe it or not, she entrusted her 13-year-old daughter to pick out for her. I don't know if I'd have done the same, but clearly the results were amazing. And we found a similar cobalt blue gown, and if you're blonde, this is a colour you should definitely be experimenting with. This particular gown is actually kind of sports luxe, which makes it look really modern and really very now, with its kind of lurex-y detail here. And as an added detail to this dress, we've got a wonderful side split to the legs if you do want to do your best Angelina Jolie posing. There can be a lot of stigma about wearing a white dress to an event, especially if that event is a wedding, of course. But we saw a lot of white dresses at the Oscars this year. Charlize Theron was in a white dress, Paz Vega was in a white dress, and of course Jennifer Lawrence, Oscar winner, was in a beautiful bridal-inspired couture dress by Dior. Now, the main thing if you want to wear a white dress to an event to not look like a bride is to wear one that isn't your typical wedding dress. So a beautiful dress like this is white, yes, but it's got a lot of beading detail that gives it much more of an Art Deco feel. It doesn't scream wedding dress by any means, and Art Deco beading details was another look we saw at the Oscars actually, with Catherine Zeta-Jones wearing a gorgeous dress in exactly that style. Now, these two dresses are obviously beautiful from the front. We have this gorgeous tanned nude colour, and then we have this lovely maroon, which is a bit like the dress that Jennifer Garner wore at the Oscars this year. But if I can just turn my lovely models around, you'll see the detail at the back of these dresses. Now, that's one thing we saw at the Oscars this year, is that people weren't really going crazy for jewellery, but the necklaces we did see on the likes of Jennifer Lawrence and Anne Hathaway had a lot more detail from the back than they did from the front. And it's worth thinking about that when getting a dress for an event, because obviously if it's something like red carpet, it has to look beautiful from all angles. It can't just be show-stopping from the front, it has to look amazing from the back as well. Now, this dress has this beautiful kind of really heavy chain detailing, which makes it look really kind of Grecian goddess. Or if you prefer something a bit more blingy, we have this gorgeous diamante and red kind of faux ruby detail at the back of this dress. Well, thank you very much for watching. I've been Poppy Dinsey and these have been some beautiful dresses from this year's Oscars. If you would like to see more videos like this, subscribe to Videojug.